All right. I think we are up and running and live. Let's get everything loaded up, BGM and the like, and we will go ahead and jump into today's gaming stream. All right, I'm going to turn the BGM on, unmute that. We are going to be listening to the same playlist today that we've listened to in the past. A bunch of music by the artist Goat, a bunch of Castlevania remixes. And we'll be doing that today. Now, let me double check my window layout. I had to resize everything when I played HoloCure. I'm trying to resize it back to what it was before. Let me start a random playthrough and I'll check the UI, make sure everything's scaled okay. Alright, I need to make that a little smaller. Let's see about there. I'm not too concerned if there's a black border on the top. I can probably size this up a little bit. Let's see. Let's see how that looks. I don't want the inventory to be cut off. Hey, Iconic's here. What's up, Iconic? How you doing today? I'm just real quickly testing the border here. Side inventory is a little cut off, but you should still be able to see what's in my inventory. It should be okay. BGM should be coming in. All right. Let's go ahead and quit out. Iconic says, good, hope you're well. Yeah, I'm doing fine. It's Monday. Long day of work. But looking forward to surviving some vampires. Okay, so let's see. What are we doing today? It has been a hot minute since I played this. I have not played with the new update at all. But one thing they added is an achievement filter. So now I can see what I have left to do. This is a straggler achievement from the last update. I haven't played with this character that was added. But there is a new item to be found on one of the maps. Ars Gouda? Or if it's like the cheese, I think it's pronounced Hauda in Scandinavian? Wherever that cheese comes from. I'm going to call it Ars Gouda. Hey, Small Big E's here. What's up, Small Big E? I know you from Wazzy's chat. Welcome. Welcome to the gaming stream. I hope you're doing well this Monday afternoon. Great Gospel. This is on Capella Magna map, I think. This unlocks Limit Break. This is a new mechanic for weapons. I do not know what this is, other than apparently it enables the ability to power up your weapons beyond their level 8. That I'm really interested to try out, so I definitely want to unlock this. The Ars Gouda unlocks Bestiary, a list of all the enemies and creatures we fight in the game. And defeat the final enemy in Capella Magna unlocks Game Killer. Okay. What do I have currently enabled? Capella Magna is a tough level. That's the one that looks like a cathedral. Small Biggie says, yeah, I'm doing well. Very good. If you've never been here before, we do a pretty diverse mix of stuff here. I'm mostly doing gaming streams this week. Less streams than normal because I'm going to be traveling later part of the week. But we do a little bit of everything here. A little bit of art, a little bit of games, a little bit of chill stuff. and some beatboxing stuff as well. I am tempted to take off Curse, but I have to reallocate all my power-ups. So we'll go in with Curse. I'm just going to have to take a powered-up character. One thing of note, in the recent updates, the devs have been systematically updating the sprite art for all of the characters. First set was the top 4. A couple updates ago was the second 3, and then one of the newer ones, Zia Sunta, she got a new sprite. And then the most recent one added an updated one for Poe, Clarici, Demario, and Croci. Which is really interesting because now you have much more detailed art of the characters. If we go down here... Oh, there's more than one skin. If we click the button, we have the original, the new one, and if we didn't want the cross pattern on his chest, it's an alternate skin. That's kind of cool. What else did they put in here? Antonio's got one. Imelda's got one. Hey, Sour Lad's here. What's up, Sour Lad? How are you doing today? I'm gonna assume, yeah, that Croce's the only one who has kind of an alternate skin toggle there for his new model. That's kind of neat. I wonder if the next update is going to have one for Christine, Pugnala, Giovanna, Papia, and Conchetta. If we compare the new ones to their old ones, same design, but the new ones are a lot more detailed. That's pretty neat. But the character I've been playing with and trying to build up with the upgrades is Mina, the werewolf. And golden eggs are the permanent stat boost that we get from doing runs and purchasing them from the merchant. So I'm going to take this character and we'll see if we can unlock the new stuff in Capella Magna. I don't know exactly where it is, so hopefully it's obvious. I'll go ahead and jump in and give this one a try. Power up wise, if I'm not going for a money run, Tragic Princess is a new arcana I got recently. This one, the following weapons, the cooldown reduces when moving, which is kind of neat. Garlic Evolve, Water, Labora, the Lightning Ring, Thunder Loop. Whenever you're moving around, the cooldown decreases. I have not tried that. I'll give that a try. It's not going to affect the weapon I start with, though. Alright. Okay, let's see. What's on the map? There's the 4 set items that are always on the map, but they appear to have disappeared. Up north we've got the crown and the Tirakisu, and south is the ring. I guess I can go guns. I'm gonna probably stick to a build I know works well, since the whole point is we're gonna try and beat this map. We're not trying to go for a high level score or a high gold score either. I do know it gets kind of bananas towards the end. I'm just gonna go for Laurel. I guess we can press north. Oh, I remember what's difficult about this map. There's going to be some spawns later that are going to be difficult to deal with, unless I get something with range. Small Big E says, when you said gun, I imagine your character pulling out a Glock. Funny you should mention that, because the gun weapon is this blue handgun right here. This is 8 the Sparrow, I think it's called. And it is a handgun, kind of like a revolver, but there's 2 of them. There's another weapon that complements this one that I'm looking for. It's a brown pair of guns called the Tufelo, Fiera de Tufelo, I think. And it's another pair of guns. Why are there 4 guns? Because it's meant to be a Bayonetta reference. So you take the guns, put 2 in your hands, you put 2 on your feet, and your Bayonetta. And the character that originally starts with those weapons when you unlock her is pretty much just a very, very close reference to Bayonetta, which is kind of neat. I imagine when they update the sprite, they'll probably give her a more distinct design, just so that they're not really in copyright territory. Alright, so we want to grab levels and keep pushing north. The enemy waves are going to be dense just because we have Curse at max. If I don't make it through this run, I'm going to turn that off while we're unlocking things, and I can just turn it back on later. This thing is a boss of sorts. Until we take it out, we're going to be mobbed by angels. There we go. Okay, so now we can start grabbing passives. Empty Tome, pretty much always a go-to. Cooldown reduction on all of our abilities. And the character I'm using, Mina, is one of the secret unlock characters, and I don't think we have a confirmation on this character's gender, so I'm just gonna not make that assumption. By the name, I would assume this is female, a female werewolf character, but Mina's ability, the innate stat perk for this character is that their stats change every minute. Like they kind of flip. There's a couple different permutations of what the stats look like. So that's why you might see my weapon all of a sudden get massive or really fast and then slow down. Because things like its cooldown and a couple other specific parameters basically flip-flop every minute. The character's build constantly changes, which is kind of interesting. Just because that's a neat gimmick. This was the one I chose to focus and put a lot of the permanent stat upgrades on. And as a result, this character is probably the strongest of the ones I have, even though the innate bonuses aren't probably super high tier in meta. How close are we? We're actually pretty close. Main strategy here is to try and fill up our entire upgrade list as soon as possible, and then grab the free items on the map for the innate passive bonuses. I'm waiting for the second handgun, or second set of guns. And knowing my luck, it's going to be a bit, so we can keep pushing forward. Eventually, when the Blue Reaper or the Drowner shows up, it's going to start pushing up from the bottom of the screen. And I kind of need my weapons evolved so I can kill it. What's that? I saw that thing in the corner. Again, I'm going into this update without doing any research beforehand, so I don't know any of the new stuff. Unlike before, when I usually have things unlocked. I wanted to try all the stuff for the first time on stream today, so we are getting my candid reactions to new things. And while this map isn't new, apparently there's some sort of boss, which I've never seen before. So we'll see. If we can manage to get everything unlocked, then we can go back to testing out builds and grinding for stat items. I really want to try that limit break thing out. Alright, there's Drowner. So that thing constantly moves up from the bottom of the screen. Am I hitting it? I think, yeah, that is hitting it. Okay. And it's basically a kill zone directly below me. And until I take it out, it's going to keep moving up, forcing me to proceed up the map vertically. And here are the free items, which I'm definitely not going to be able to get. Okay, that might be a bit of a sweet spot. And the longer the Drowner's on screen, the faster eventually he'll start pushing the hazard zone up. So that's why I want to take him out kind of as quick as I can, but I don't have a weapon that hits all the way over there easily. As you notice, when I move closer, it moves to a set distance. So I can't really get in range. It's hit like a sweet spot right there. Let's see. Bible. Now I'm waiting for the guns. I'll vanish. Spellbinder? That's not on the map, right? No. Okay, good. What we're going to do here is try and kill as many enemies as possible, try and farm up levels to get upgrades. I need to take that Reaper out before it outruns me. I might have to path it more towards the middle. Oop. Alright. It's a lot of enemies. What we can do as a strategy is try and outpace the Reaper a little bit, get some space, and try and get more experience and get some health back. The weapon I'm using, Mina's main weapon, is the Bloody Tear upgrade of the whip, and it has leech on it, so it actively heals, which is nice. But you have to heal more than you take damage, as it were. There it is. There's the other gun. Now, I can't upgrade these without the Tirakisu. The thing that looks like a square piece of cake. And it's below me right now. I've got two options. I can try and YOLO it. Which I'm going to try and do here. Nope. It is one thing below me. Ah, alright. Or wait for it to come up in the rotation and I forfeit a free skill slot. A power-up slot, which is fine. At this point, I just need the upgrade. Let's see if I can get full health. No, yep. I definitely can't YOLO it. I might have to turn curse off. Oh, I see Iconic redeemed a hydrate. Alright. It is very warm today. I definitely need to make sure and continue to drink water. And I'm going to be going to the land of hotter sun than where I live, so it's going to be even hotter later in the week. Alright. Didn't mean to grab that, but get a bonus chest. Give me some upgrades. Oh, super chest. Some upgrades to the other gun. Now there's one. I need to be careful. I need to banish Torona's box. Oh, hey. Took out the Reaper. Thank goodness. Alright. That is very helpful. So now we just need to keep building up experience. I'm just going to grab this while we're here. We'll go back down to where the free items are located. Get out of here, Hollow Heart. And keep trying to power up all of our weapons. Small Biggie says, nice to stop by and see ya. Alright, if you're heading out, thanks for popping in and chilling with us. If you ever want to see what happened on all these runs on the stream, feel free to check out the VODs here on Twitch. Or you can check them out on YouTube, which is my standing archive for things since VODs expire after a set amount of time. So yeah, have a good evening, and thanks for chilling with us. Okay, level 4. That's a big level. Alright, I've got the other Reaper on the map now. Stalker, Green Reaper. That one I just need to be a little bit careful of since it automatically paths towards my location. And it speeds up every once in a while, so I just need to make sure I don't get caught since it'll do a ton of damage. Alright, keep upgrading weapons. I guess technically I don't need to grab the Tirigisu until I have the guns maxed out. If I get really lucky what drops, I might be able to pick up some other useful things that'll fill out the lower inventory slots, and then I can grab the bonus items, and I won't lose that one slot for the extra stuff. Alright, we're getting a lot of enemies now. Okay, a ring. Probably max out Torona's box so I can just banish it from the list. Alright, there goes the Reaper. I forgot the rosaries do fixed damage to those characters. It's the strategy here is to wait till they get on screen and then grab a rosary and just nuke them all at once. Alright, cool down. Fire breath. We're 12 minutes. So now we can upgrade things once we max out the levels. We need 4 more levels on the other gun. And then after that we can try and evolve them. Looking at the dev roadmap for Vampire Survivors, There's been kind of a breakdown of all the updates and then what's coming next from the developer. And apparently there's a team working on this now. There's one dude, and now there's a team of folks that are working on this. And one of their big heavy lists before the 1.0 release is porting the game over to a new engine and infrastructure. It's going to run better. Since this, again, I've mentioned before that this was originally a browser game. And it has definitely been built out with more features and it's a lot more robust. That's a lot of dudes. Oof. So, in order to make it run better and potentially give it console port capability and everything else, they're moving the whole thing to like an entirely different coding infrastructure. And that's kind of, I think that's going to be the 1.0 release. That's what it sounds like. But a lot of the features and things that have been added, like the character list, everything that you see in the version I'm playing now is pretty much the final leg of content for the initial release. It sounds like the dev wants to continue adding things once the game's officially out of early access. But even if the main dev decided to drop the game tomorrow and never work on it again, there's so much to do in Vampire Survivors. It looks like such a simple game, but there's a lot of content and things to do, characters to upgrade and, you know, experimenting around with builds. It's pretty fascinating. And considering it was a $3 game that I've played probably about 150 hours in now, I definitely got my money's worth. And I'm the type of person that likes a grind when it comes to games. If there's a way to build out characters and increase stats and unlock things, I will continue to do that forever, even if there's no story end or anything else. That type of grind just scratches a particular itch with me. It's probably why I like Monster Hunter so much. If you really want to, there's no end to the game. You keep playing it forever until you don't want to play it anymore. Sarla said it could really grow if ported to console. I think that's true, and part of the reason why they're pushing for upgrading the engine or the man, I didn't want to move all the way over the side like that. Why they're upgrading the infrastructure is to give it that flexibility, because one, it needs to be able to run well enough to not melt a console, and two, it'll allow them to continue to build off of things for the game, you know, and add more. So yeah, I definitely think that's kind of the main focus. The dev has said in the update logs that the game is a lot bigger than he originally thought it was going to be. He thought it was just going to be like a silly little thing that, you know, he makes and it's like a throwaway project, but it blew up. It's got a big following, a lot of high-profile content creators and VTubers and streamers are playing Vampire Survivors, and it's getting a huge audience. And it's pretty well received online, which is great. You love to see that from the indie devs. Sarlad asks, has the dev said anything about co-op play? I don't know. I think what's going to probably come next after 1.0 is some sort of story mode. It's been kind of shelved as a lower priority while the main gameplay things have been added, but the dev did say that he wanted to put a story mode in to explain, you know, the setting, why you're doing what you're doing. So I would assume that would come before anything else, because multiplayer would be interesting, but I think that would be a pretty radical overhaul to the core infrastructure of the game. I could be wrong. It would be neat to have like two people pop in on a map and then I can get rid of you. You're trying to collectively survive the waves or something like that. That would be neat, but as of right now, we haven't heard if there's any plans to do something like that. I know the dev wants to move on and do other things as well, not just Vampire Survivors. So I'm actually going to be keeping an eye on the studio once, you know, 1.0 comes out, and if there's less updates and it's more or less a complete game, I'll be kind of watching to see what the company does next, because again, it's a really well-made product, a lot of fun. All right, we're at 1644. We need to start getting some evolves. I have 2 slots left. I am gonna grab the Tiragisu and try and fill out everything else. All right, we'll upgrade that. We need to get some damage. There's Death Spiral. Upgrade to the axe. We also need the 11-minute mark Arcana. There's Furagi. Upgrade to the guns. And now I need the ring, the duplicator rather. I will put that in the last spot so I don't have to walk all the way to the bottom of the map to get it. And I'll grab the crown for free. And on the topic of playing this particular game in different consoles or setups, I have seen people talk about playing this with a controller, which is interesting. Apparently it does play well with a controller as long as there's no hardware issues. But I play this with a keyboard. To me, a game like this would be difficult for me to play on a controller. But I guess if you're used to twin-stick shooters, it's pretty similar in control scheme. The Iconic redeem another hydrate. I should turn my air conditioner on. I'm pretty sure you folks would be able to hear it though in the background. I don't want it to be too noisy. We can get another weapon now too. Should I get the Clock Lancet? Because the things that allows me to upgrade the Laurel and the Clock Lancet aren't on the map anymore. I think it's due to the special conditions on this one. So, I'm not going to get the Lancet because it's really useful for its evolve ability. If I can't evolve it, it's not going to be as useful. We'll see if something else comes up. Maybe I'll get the Cross. Let's go for straight damage. Okay, nothing here. We'll banish the knife. Never liked the knife. Oh, there's the cross. Okay, grab the cross. Now we're looking out for the duplicator. We need the duplicator to evolve the ring. And then we can get the crown, and then we're pretty much set on our items. But looking back at the last year or so since Vampire Survivors kind of blew up and got kind of big, it's been really interesting watching the gaming industry just scratch their heads in confusion at the success of, you know, at the time, a one-person indie title on the market for $3. And watching people try and reverse engineer and capture that same type of success has been really funny, because you have AAA developers that charge $60 for a game that has a fraction of the content going, why don't we just do something like that? But it's not that easy. You have to be able to capture the core gameplay loop and give people a reason to want to play it. It's not just simplicity. Sorry, I'll ask. Any idea how the story will be like? I have no idea. It's been backburnered, so there's been no hints about the style. It's going to have cutscenes or what. We have no idea what it's going to look like, or if it's even been considered for the final build. I haven't heard otherwise. So we'll just have to see once 1.0 comes out. Ah, there's a duplicator. Okay, grab that. Grab the crown. Now we just need to start focusing on upgrading everything. We're at the 20-minute mark, and the waves are getting pretty dense, but so far nothing unmanageable. There's the evolve on Thunder Loop. Wow, there's the enhanced cooldown. It's more obvious when the Thunder Loop's going off. Yeah. That's pretty neat. Iconic says, the story may be the real vampire survivors were the friends we made along the way. There's still been no clarification if we're surviving the vampires, or if we're vampires that have survived, or if we're vampire versions of the band Survivor that did the song, you know, Eye of the Tiger. We don't know. I think we're actively looking for a vampire, because when you unlock things, you know, when you open the coffins to get the new characters, it says your vampire is in another coffin. So I think we're actively seeking out said vampires. That's my theory. Alright. Get some upgrades. Heaven's Sword. Upgraded cross. Anything else? No, we're just grabbing straight upgrades now. We'll see if not having the water bites me later. It might be okay just because a lot of my weapons are pretty hard hitting, but we don't have like a kill zone type weapon like Labora. And I can't upgrade the Laurel here because I don't have the things for that. Oh, and it shows our... This is the item I banished, so it's red because it won't show up in the rotation anymore. And I did that because at level 9, Tarona's box, it puts a 100% curse. And that would make the waves even more dense than they are now. I don't really want that. I want to actually beat this. Let's see what I get. Oh, there's a lot of chests around where I'm at. This is new. We have the ability to choose our bonuses now that everything's maxed in level. We can have it go always pick up the coin bag or always pick up the chicken. I am not going to do the auto because as it gets more crazy, I might need to actually refill my health if I can't keep the waves off me. Oh, there's the 21 mark Arcana. I want Awake. There's two Arcanas. This is the third and final one. I need to go get the second one on the map somewhere. This is weapons get +1 amount. Character's main weapon evolution get +3 amount instead. Let's take that. Ah, I meant to take it, not re-roll it. Alright, fine. We get Awake first. More beams. That was a mistake. But it should come up in the rotation again if I'm lucky. There's the other one. Okay. Okay. Nope. Not going to get it this time. Alright, we're going to go for Boogaloo of Illusions. Area of Effect is going to flip between -25% and +50% over 10 seconds. So I'll have little tiny beams and projectiles, and then 10 seconds later it'll be massive like screen hitting things. Should help for DPS. There's one chest. We're at the 22-minute mark. Starlight says, fighting the first army of the vampire survivor. I'm kind of curious, narrative-wise, what that story would involve, since there's so many characters, and some of them are kind of like random. You know, we have a dog that farts flowers. We have an angel skeleton that tosses bones. We have a literal tree. I don't think I showed you folks the tree yet, because I've been trying to build stats for the tree. I can show that one off after this. It's difficult to use, that's why I haven't been playing with it. Literally a tree. Alright, super chest. Yep, there's cash money. Iconic says, hopefully they'll have fighting game arcade endings for each character somehow. Yeah, it'd be interesting if they do like a arcade mode thing where each character has their own progression and then they have an ending, or if it's like a Guilty Gear style thing where you play as different characters through a collective story. I don't know. I think it would be interesting just to have, you know, some sort of guiding narrative. That says a specific ending like Mortal Kombat. Like maybe there's a canon ending, maybe there's like secret endings you get from doing things with certain characters. I don't know. A lot of possibilities. Hey, Corebreak's here. What's up, Corebreak? How you doing this evening? Hope your Monday afternoon is going well. You're getting to the point in the run where the screen and bitrate are about to just go straight down the toilet. I'm at 105, actually pretty high level. I figured this would be a low level run. Maybe not. I have no idea what unlocks the boss. I'm hoping it's just at the end of the run. Not then I'm going to have to go to the wiki and figure it out, because I want that unlocked. Sarlad says, for the story, maybe the story have different perspectives during the same time. Yeah, that's kind of the Guilty Gear strategy. Everything is taking place at once, but you're playing it from different character perspectives. That would be cool. Hey, I see Red Dragon's here. What's up, Red Dragon? How you doing today? Oh, there. That's big level up. A lot of these angelic, whatever they're called. Kind of want to see the bestiary so I can know what the names of all the enemies are. Ah, Cora says, can't stay long, but I wanted to say hi. See y'all later. Alright, Cora, thanks for stopping by. Again, appreciate you popping in. Say what's up. Ah, I see. Could be better, huh, Red Dragon? I'm doing alright. I can't complain. I was telling the folks earlier, it was a busy day at work, but I'm just playing some Vampire Survivors. As you do. Alright, that's a 25-minute mark boss. We're at 8K? Yeah. Definitely not going for any decent amount of gold this run. It's fine. Oh boy, that's a lot of enemies. If I can get the main item unlocks we were looking at on the achievement screen, I kind of want to show off how I've been farming gold, which is what's used to buy the permanent stat upgrades you just throw into the characters. We'll see. It gets pretty nutty. I've been farming on the skeleton map, the bonus area, the bone zone, as it were. And it gets pretty nutty. But you have to kind of focus on building a certain way just because it gets so dumb. Silat says, anything new with the speed mode? Speed mode on this game? There's technically 3 different modes you can play. There's the regular mode, there's the hyper mode, which is faster movement speed and everything else, and then there's hurry mode, which makes the game speed half, or 2 times. So the run goes faster. Instead of 30 minutes, it's essentially 15 minutes of real time. That stuff hasn't changed. Oh boy, it's a lot. Hurry mode's not bad if you want to just get a quick session in and test stuff. But I found if I'm farming for gold, I get more out of a full 30-minute run. Money good. The reason why I'm not just parking and letting my weapons kill everything is because of that cooldown arcana I have. Moving around causes the different things to go off faster. It's actually better for me to be moving constantly. Sarah says, I guess the game can make 30 minutes fly by quick. Dude, you have no idea how effective of a time killer this game is. When I first started playing it, I thought, that's a pretty simple game. I'll just do a couple runs and see what I can unlock and see how well I do, and then go do something else. Well, turns out, because it's such a simple gameplay loop, and I really like to try and min-max and experiment with things. This is one of those, I've played this game for 5 hours straight and I've done nothing else type of game, which is kind of unique. Usually, it has to be like a Monster Hunter title for me to run into that problem. But nope, I have been up to far too late playing Vampire Survivors. Just you get through a run, you're like, okay, that went well. I can do it better. Let me just do one more 30-minute run, and then next thing you know, you can hear birds chirping outside because the sun's come up. But that's a surefire sign that the core gameplay loop is very compelling. And again, shouts to the devs for creating something that is that effective for being such a simple concept. I'm gonna die. Uh-oh. I need to last 1 more minute. Oh boy. Those enemies are doing too much damage. Uh-oh. I'm gonna be very annoyed if I die before the end of the minute. Uh-oh. Can I run? Oh, I might be able to run. How many revives do I have? I've got 2 revives. I might have to just try and run the clock out, lame it out as it were, just because I need to get to the end of the run and see if this boss I need to kill shows up. Okay, I think we're good. If I stayed in one spot, I'd be absolutely boned. Okay, 30 minutes. Where's the Reaper? Nope. We're in another dimension. Silas said, I guess it's a large possibility of combinations that few games can master other than Binding of Isaac games. I've heard a lot of people say that the openness of Vampire Survivors is really similar to Binding of Isaac. I haven't really played that one at length. But similar premise, right? Okay. This is new. I have not seen this before. Okay, we're still on the map. Oh boy. That was all the different colored Reapers. It's Reaper Voltron. Interesting. That's a neat looking sprite. Oh boy. What's the strategy here? Obviously avoid the projectiles. It's not terribly fast, so that's good. I guess we're gonna just keep trying to not get too close. And I don't have the corridor for the HP half, so hopefully this thing doesn't scale with my level. Otherwise we're gonna be here a while. Freeze? Nice. Iconic says Reaper Voltron is right. You notice why I went for Voltron and not Power Rangers, because I am very old. I can't even tell what that is, but it looks like a projectile wave of sorts. Oof. This is about to just become like a Toho type thing. That is very possible. I hope that's an unlockable character I can play as at some point. Oh, I didn't even realize those sickle projectiles are hitting me. Alright, we do it. Yes, alright. Great Gospel. Permanently allows to level up weapons beyond the limit. Can be enabled in stage selection. And we got a round of applause. Nice. And now, oh, it leaves our projectiles there. Now the sweet embrace of the White Hand, the Reaper that I can't kill that ends the run. I don't know if you folks have seen this. This is what happens if you kill the Reapers on a regular map. That thing comes out and just insta-kills you. Also a really neat sprite. Sarlat says, Binding of Isaac is a randomly generated level maker with hundreds of possible weapons and pickups. Yeah, I've seen the game played before. It's one of the old, like, roguelite, kind of twin-stick shooter-inspired games. It's got a really interesting loop of gameplay and quite a disturbing aesthetic, too. Okay. Game Killer. Okay. Let's see if it explains what Game Killer does. Game Killer halts XP gain. XP gems turn into exploding projectiles. All treasures contain at least 3 items. Is this just a passive? Or something we get in run? I guess we'll find out. Then Great Gospel. Okay. Nope. Nothing new here. Okay. So the character here, Peppino, literally a tree. It's the same sprite as the garden level Il Malise. It has all the plants and trees that continue to sprout everywhere infinitely. And this thing starts with the Soul Eater, the Garlic Evolve, which is kind of cool. but it's got negative 90% speed, so it can't move. It moves like a pixel at a time until you get some sort of power up to move. And it's pretty strong with that ability, but once things start to get really crazy and you can't dodge stuff, it's difficult. So I kind of want to dump a bunch of golden egg upgrades into this thing, get its movement speed up, and then have like a fast moving tree running around the map. I think that'd be really funny. But so far I've been unable to clear a run with it just because things get so nuts and you can't move. But we shall see. Let's take Mina again into the bonus area and test out the limit break. And this will be a good chance for me to show kind of the money build I've been doing. So let's see if I can remember it. I have it written down too. We'll get Mad Groove first. That's going to automatically port everything to our location. We're going to go guns. These permanent items for the Laurel and the Clock Lancet, which is right here. I'm not going to get these right now because I want to fill up my inventory with stuff. And then I'll grab those once I have all my slots filled, and it'll be 4 bonus items. So we'll just keep going and unlocking things. I believe there is a secret on this map. All I know is that it's somewhere north. So because the Arcana I picked will automatically pull all the valuable stuff to my location every 2 minutes, we can leave those items and they'll just port over to where we're at later. But I do want to keep getting levels. Okay, so I want guns. Let me actually check. It's been a couple weeks since I did this last. Uh, 103. No, it's not that run. I want... yeah, Labora, guns, Clock Lancet, Corridor. I'll just put this on the other screen so I can look at it. Okay, so I'm going to need this for the water. So there's 2 more slots to fill. I need the other gun and the holy water. That'll be the first set of weapons. Or Santa water, rather. Alright, I don't know where on the northern part of the map the secret is. I was looking this up earlier because there's I think there's a character tied to this. So that's why I know roughly where I'm going. Just said north. North of the Bone Zone. Starlight says, gonna chop honeydew. Be right back. Alright. We will be here. Sure, go for some honeydew right now. Even though it would make my mouth itch. It'd be very refreshing. Okay, we'll keep moving. Ooh. I almost grabbed one of those. I need to keep an eye on the timer. Get ready for that every 2 minutes. I'm pretty far north. I guess we'll just keep going until we hit something. And I'll just stop every once in a while to get through the waves and build up my arsenal here. If I keep running, I'll outpace them and I won't actually get levels. Eventually, I won't be able to do damage. Okay, there's the water. Now we need the other gun. And we're good on weapons. Okay, well, we're going to get the cats later since we want things that'll help us boost our gold pickups. But not quite yet. Okay, 8 the Sparrow is going to be almost fully upgraded. I seem to be cursed with luck on getting the other gun to pop up in a relatively short time frame. Sometimes I'm sitting there re-rolling. It's the last thing I pick up before I fill out my inventory. Leave that there. Okay, Tirona's box. I do want this one. This time we're not going to kick it out. Assuming I can get all my other evolution upgrades, we're gonna get the final for that one, and it'll put a butt ton of enemies on screen. But that'll help us get more money. Okay, we want empty tome for cooldown. That other handgun. We want luck. Okay, so we got Clover. I think we're missing the Tirakisu and the Stone Mask. Those are the last two for this particular build. Water. What are you doing here? That enemy normally spawns when I pick up one of the on-the-map items. I wonder if I'm getting close to whatever I'm supposed to unlock here. That enemy is booking. It's one of the Guardians. Careful not to accidentally pick up one of those on the map items yet. So we'll keep moving upwards. We are really north. If I don't see something in the next 5 minutes or so, I might have to go check the wiki again and make sure I read that correctly. Okay, maxed out gun. Still haven't got the other one yet. The merchant is almost off the screen now. Okay, lands it. I wonder when the limit break kicks in. I kind of figured I would get upgrades for my whip, which doesn't have any levels. But I wonder if it only kicks in after you've maxed everything else out. Oh. That's the item, I believe. The Ring of Flowers. I need to clear some of this stuff out. I think in order to get the unlock, I have to go and stand in the middle of it for like 10 seconds. And it's healing me. Oh boy, that... Okay, that sound means I did what I needed to do, but it cost me a revive. Right. So now we just need to keep leveling everything up. Iconic says, got to go now. Sorry I couldn't stay longer. Hope you have a great rest of your stream. Take care. Alright, Iconic. Thanks for tuning in and hanging out. I hope you have a really good evening. And I will catch you next time. I'll be streaming again tomorrow. My only other stream this week, because I'm traveling, is going to be tomorrow. We're going to play a bunch more Monster Hunter. So I'll catch you in the next one. Alright, I guess I can close this out. Before we move on. Just set one thing up here on my other screen. All right. Should be good. Last passive power-up I'm looking for is the Tirakisu. Oh, and the Stone Mask. There's two. Alright, let's put some distance between us and the map items, so I don't pick them up by accident. I've done that before. It doesn't ruin my run, but it does make it a little less optimized. I just need to keep an eye out for the 2-minute mark and not wander. Alright, Pomerola, get out of here. I never picked that weapon. A lot of skelly boys. Okay, max out Clover. More levels in the book. I am really striking out with those last couple items I need. Maxed out Tome. There's a stone mask. Now we need the Tiragisu. Tiragisu and the other gun, which still does not come up in the rotation. That's really bad luck. What we're going to have to do is start going for potential weapon evolves. Oh boy. There's a stalker. Note how that enemy speed just sort of ramps up and will mob you really quick if you're not paying attention. Okay. Almost at 11 minutes. I don't want to max out Toronto's box because I don't have my weapons fully evolved. If I do that, it's going to amplify Curse by 100%. And I want to banish it because I do want to get that later. So I'm going to instead banish out the candle. We're going to stall that upgrade until we can get some evolved stuff. What happened to my chat window? There we go. Give me that other set of guns. Okay, mask is maxed out. I think the big skull is the 11-minute mark boss. It drops the Arcana, I think. Okay, we're gonna start banishing stuff right and left. Okay, 12-minute mark. Okay, we took out the Guardian. That's good. Banish you. Hollow Heart. There's a Tiragisu finally. So now I need the other gun, but I can grab the other things on the screen now. I'm going to wait a couple levels and see if I get lucky. Because once I do that, it's going to spawn a Guardian for each one of these 4 that I'm sort of orbiting around here. And 2 of them are going to increase my curse level. So I'll banish you. I want to at least get the last gun, and then we'll pick up everything else on the map. See if I guess right on the randomizo. Nope, not that one. I'll just wait. The reason why I'm being a little more careful is because this build for farming gold's a little more specific, and I need to be careful I don't kind of back myself into a corner. Skip. I don't want to burn all my rerolls. I have to see if I get the right Arcana as well. Skip again. We have a lot of skips. I can also burn rerolls. In fact, let's do that. Actually, no, I can banish whatever I want. It's the rerolls I don't want to burn all at once. Let's get the knife out of the pool. Pinion can also go. Man, garlic, get out of here. There's a Randomazo. Okay, good. Now we're going to get the gold drop. There it is, Disco of Gold. Every time we pick up a money bag, it starts that mode, and killing things gets us more money, and also heals, which is nice. Now, because that's going to be going off a lot, it's going to start... There it is, finally. It's going to start tanking the bitrate. So we'll see if it starts visibly looking like garbage on stream. Okay, let me see if I can get the last few levels on the guns, and then I'll grab everything else, the free items on the map. It shouldn't take too long because it's just that and Torona's box. If I grab the free items now, they'll be part of the roll pool for the upgrades, and it'll take me longer to focus on the guns, so I'm going to do that first. And I can see the gold is stacking up pretty quick, and it's because of that bonus thing going off on top of the mask, which is also gold pickups. When we eventually get the cats, that'll further increase our ability to get gold. So the whole point of doing this is to make cash money and to make my computer sound like a jet engine. Well, I guess that one's maxed out now. I wasn't quite ready to do that, but it should be okay. Oh. Is that all the chests? Nope. And the guns. There we go. Okay, that's good. Get the free items. Oh, It didn't spawn the other guardian. Maybe because I killed it already. Alright, that's fine. Ah, Sarlad's back. How's your honeydew? Okay, I'm trying, waiting for the cats to come up in the roll here. Sarlad said, honeydew was sweet. Well, that's good. It definitely takes me back to days of having to prep dozens of honeydew and cantaloupe when I worked in the kitchen. I'd be sitting there de-rinding and slicing melons for hours. Which wasn't bad. Kind of learned to turn your brain off, and they would let me bring music in, so I just turn on some music and chop fruit for like 5 hours. Alright, I can tell already that there's a ton of stuttering. How is that looking on broadcast? Is it dropping frames or is it just really muddled? We're only at 16 minutes too, it's gonna get worse. long as it doesn't crash my computer. Sarah says, unfortunately I couldn't find a peeler, so I just used a knife. Yeah, that's what we would use in the kitchen. We would use a really sharp knife to cut the rind off of the melons from like top to bottom if you stand them up. And then once they were completely de-rinded, then we would cut them. Oh, geez, I didn't see what killed me. All right. We would go in and then we would chop them into sections and whatnot. Oh, the Guardians. They are now fast enough to kill me. In a couple hits. Yep, they are definitely fast enough to kill me in a couple hits. I need to get these guys off the screen. If I had the corridor evolved, then I'd be having their HP and they would be dead much quicker, but I don't. So basically DPS race and a literal race as I do laps around the map. Okay, one ring done. Let's see if we can get the other one. Whoops. Vicious Hunger? Yep, okay, that's good. Our cats will now become cat eyes, and they'll sweep the map and also collect stuff for us. I have no idea if that's going to make it lag more or less. I think it's going to be less because there's no clouds. The cat clouds cause a lot of distortion on the screen. Okay, we dropped 2 of the Guardians. And 3. Okay, they're dead. Now I can worry a little bit less. I can actually kind of stay put. Don't look directly at that, at the screen. It's a lot. How is the broadcast quality? Is it dropping frames yet? On OBS, it's visible on my computer, but for folks watching, I'd be curious to see if it's just dipping in quality or if it's still sort of visible. Okay. Oh, I'm gaining levels very slowly. That's weird. Oh, okay. I need to get that corridor upgrade. I think the enemy HP is so high from Curse that they're not dying quickly, so my levels are going up super slow. Okay, I didn't even think about that as a problem. Oh, where's the boss? Okay. There we go. Just jumping a little bit. Hopefully I get the gold ring as part of the next pool. Oh, there's Drowner. Okay, good. I need to kill that enemy. Alright, there's the corridor. That's good. Oh, we got the unlock for another secret character. It's the first time I've heard that. Sarlat asks, how many hours did you spend with this setup? I have run this several times, so I'd say probably about 2 hours or so just fine-tuning this particular build. So far, it's the one that's yielded me the most money of all the ones I've tried. You notice how the gold bonus is still going, just because I keep picking up money bags here or there. But basically, it's reprocking so many times that it's just constantly going up. I'm at 74,000. And I still need to upgrade the last several levels to get the Crimson Shroud. But pretty much just soup. Sorry, let ask. Any achievements with money? Not any that I haven't unlocked. I think there's like a get X amount earlier on. The reason why I'm doing this isn't just to see how much money I can get. When you visit the shopkeeper that's on the map for a one-time deal, and you buy the golden eggs, it upgrades a random parameter on your character you're playing permanently. And so the more you buy, the stronger your character gets, and thus enables you to get further, farm faster. And the whole end game, in quotes, of Vampire Survivors is grinding money and building characters to be super powerful and experimenting with different builds. So that's why I'm trying to optimize a gold setup, so I can buy more upgrades and then farm faster, and then try and build like an uber powerful character. And so far the werewolf is the one that I have the most upgrades on, so that's why I'm using them for these runs. This character is not the strongest, it's just the one I immediately upgraded the most. If I use the Bayonetta inspired one, she has a flat damage increase that goes up every level. She's probably going to be the one I build next. I don't know. I really want to build a tree. I think that'd be really funny, but we'll see. I'm just kind of surprised my level is stalling. At this rate, I might not actually get the last upgrade because my level's going up so slow. Doesn't really matter. The Crimson Shroud is for survivability. It doesn't help me kill things faster, really. Though it did get a buff. They changed the way it does damage, so maybe it would. Yeah, that's interesting. Oh, my bonus finally ran out. And it's on again. I think there's actually breakpoints in the mobs where they start dropping more experience because they're more difficult to kill. It's got to be it, because now my XP level's jumping up really fast. Ugh. That hurts my eyes to look at directly. Sourlad says, I wonder if the devs will add a character based on money and greed. That would be interesting. Like a character whose damage multipliers scale off of the total amount of money you have. Greed is your overall gold multiplier when you get stuff, which also improves as, stats get dumped into it. So you could totally have a character who's designed to pick up as much money as possible because they do the most damage. In fact, I'm surprised that hasn't been a thing yet. So we'll see. Okay, 2 more levels. Let's see, Sourlad has redeemed a stretch. Good idea. Oh. Okay. Final upgrade. Now we just need to get from a chest. Oh, there's the other randomazo. Forgot that was there. We want Awake. More beams of death. And here's a Crimson Shroud. Retaliates when losing charges. So this caps incoming damage, and it basically has a shockwave thing that goes off whenever one of its charges is exhausted, but you can't see it because there's too much on the screen. Okay. That is the end of the build. Now we just have to survive and see how much money we can make. And this part... Oh, here's the limit break. So we have to have things fully maxed out. Okay. Alright. Labora. That is probably going to be the highest damage thing I have here, except for maybe the thing that halves enemy HP. Okay. I guess we see how many of these new limit break upgrades we get. This is brand new. This is what we got for getting that item in the last level. Bloody Tear, area 5%. Ferragi, area... Alright. Okay, so we have to unlock... We have to upgrade everything in our inventory fully. And I wonder how high it goes. So find out. 5% speed? That's pretty cool. Look at our beams. Oh. That's great. Alright. 4 minutes. Let's just see how much we can upgrade. Area 5% on the beams. Oh, we can do damage on the cat eyes. Area on Labora. Sorry, I'll ask, what's the highest level you got in this game? I think 200 something, I think. I saved a lot of my runs. I don't remember. In fact, I can look. I have them right here. I had to pull up one to see what my build was. 202. 202. 202 with, who was it? This character? No, it was with Pugnala, the Bayonetta lady. Interesting. Yeah, we're going to get close this time, I think. Let's see. Pierce? No, we're not going to get close this run. We'll probably get close to about 160, I would guess. I see some of the weapons give you an option on what you get for your upgrades. You don't necessarily have to build them the same way. See, I went mostly speed on the Firagi. Does it cap at 8? That would be really funny if it doesn't. Nope, keeps going. Alright. Labora. Might. Might is damage. Whenever you see that term, it means overall damage. Upgrade Shroud. Maybe whip. It's essentially full screen. Wow. Damage up on Labora. So I guess for this new limit break system, it kind of incentivizes you to play a build that's going to get you levels instead of just survivability up to minute 30. Now you want to build for stacking up experience, because if the thing just goes, if it just keeps going forever, you could potentially, if you got to level 202 like in my other playthrough, it looks like this just keeps scaling forever. We'll see. We're at almost 150k. I think my record's like 167. That's fascinating. That's an interesting new addition to the sort of endgame grind in Vampire Survivors. Now it makes me want an endless mode. Give me something that goes for like infinite time. Level 4, 140. I can't even see the Vicious Hunger cat eyes. They're moving so quick. Does it tell me my overall limit broken stats? No, because it's per weapon. It's not going to show up in the panel on the left, but it shows up here. So Firagi's at 13. $152? Might be a new record for gold. Ooh, duration? Alright. We have a minute and a half left. Let's see, area. Let's go might. Straight damage. Sorry, lad ass. Has anybody made mods of Vampire Survivor? Oh yeah. I haven't looked into any of them, but there's a whole scene of mods for this. You can do things like edit all the weapons on your character at once. You can tweak stats. Whole bunch of stuff with mods. I've seen some videos of people messing around with it. Ooh, that's bright. It's actually easier for me to just read the chat than to look directly at my screen right now. Getting a lot of levels. Now I'm really curious to see how the damage spread's going to be. Still think the thing that halves HP is going to be the highest, but it's probably going to be the water Labora second highest. Meanwhile, I can just stand still in the middle. I don't think anything can kill me at this point. Oh, did I max something out? That was only 2. Nope, nope, there it is. Yeah, I don't think there's a limit. I think it scales forever unless it's like 200 or something that I am not even close to. Okay, heading into the run. Oh, now corridor pops up. Duration. Okay. I didn't even think there were upgrades. That was the first time it's shown up in the rotation at all. or if it's just straight duration upgrades. Alright. Now we just have to kill the Reaper, and that is the run. So that says, what would you think about giving the characters a super move like a screen killer? That's what they did in HoloCure. In HoloCure, which is the HoloLive VTuber game inspired by Vampire Survivors I played last week. In addition to the kind of skills and upgrade system being different and characters having their own weapons, there is a special ability which I unlocked towards the end of the stream where you can click a button for a super move that recharges over time, and each character has their own. It's really neat. And it adds a whole new layer of complexity to the game. Alright. Zen me. So Vampire Survivors could do something like that, but there really is no direct input other than just moving around because your characters attack on their own. So I don't know. We'll see. Alright, how many more? Okay. Wow, it's a new record. 169. About 2K more than my last gold run. I'm gonna save that. I like keeping track of these so I can see as I'm playing this game how the runs improve. Alright, so let's look at our numbers. Infinite Corridor, 2.5 million in DPS. Okay, that's the highest. Second highest is Labora at just under 100k. Okay. And everything else is pretty low in comparison for damage. Alright. Not bad. Not bad. Did I unlock anything? Yes, we have a new character. Starlight says, have you heard of the game called Korone Box? It's like HoloCure, but just Korone. Oh, that's interesting. I think she's going to be part of the JP characters that are added to the next round of HoloCure. Because there's the gamer, quote-unquote gamer tier, and I'm pretty sure it's Korone, Okayu, maybe a couple of the other ones that are known for playing games. Fubuki, maybe. Alright. We unlocked Gainsboroughs. This is one of the skeleton worms from the tower level. And Gainsborough starts with the Heaven Sword, the upgraded cross, and its innate passive is 2% growth every level uncapped. So that means this character gets 2% higher experience rate, which is what growth is over here, every level forever. So if you're going to build this character for farming, in theory, you could build probably the most busted character in the game because it's going to get levels like crazy. And with the new limit break system, you can keep upgrading all of your different weapons, which is pretty nutty. Let's take this character out for a spin. Question is, I'm going to try and do library, which I might be able to do at max curse. I might have to turn it off because this character's not as strong. Starlight says, Korone Box happened before HoloCure. Not sure if it came before Vampire Survivors. I think I have heard of the game. I just don't know what it's about. Because people have been making fan games for a while. There's like the small Ame ones. It's like a platformer. It's really neat how the scene is making like unofficial fan games. HoloCure is probably the most polished product I've seen. Massive kudos to Caillou for doing that. It's it's really cool. I'm gonna be playing that more on stream. I like that game a lot. I just suck at it. All right, let's take Gaines out for a spin on the library. See how well we can do. And for this one, Game Killer halts XP gain. Yeah, this is the Arcana we picked up. XP gems turn to exploding projectiles. Treasures contain at least 3 items. So we do that, we don't get levels. I definitely don't want that for this playthrough. Let's go for a similar build to the other one where we're doing money. Uh-oh. That's gonna hit me. So this character's got decent move speed. I definitely want cooldown reduction for the sword, because the sword doesn't have a fast rate of fire. So I says I can link the trailer if you like, or just DM on Discord. Send it to me on Discord. Yeah, I'll check it out. Okay, we'll definitely get Laurel. I'm not gonna go guns this time. Let's do a different sort of loadout and see if we can survive. One thing that makes this more difficult is because Gaines doesn't have Leech, it can't recover health very quickly. But this map has health pickups, so we need to get lucky and get some health pickups. Okay, we'll go Clover for just luck boost. Just taking a look at the starting stats. Okay. I was thinking maybe doing Pentagram, but that takes a pretty big investment in order to build up. Could be doable because this character has XP bonus. Growth is already at 33%. Okay, need some weapons. Alright, thanks for sending that, Saralad. I can see my Discord on my other monitor here. I will check that out after the stream. Alright, give me damage. Give me damage. Oop. Do you follow much of the other Hololive talent, Saralad? I used to watch some of the JP crew, but I probably watch the EN Myth group more. I don't have a lot of time to watch VTuber streams. But the JP group were a lot of the OGs that sort of started off the whole thing. Silence as I watch clips and animation. Yeah, that's how I consume a lot of my content now too, since I don't have time to just watch the streams. I'll either watch highlights or the clip compilations. There's been a lot of news lately because one of the American VTuber groups, which is pretty well known, I like them a lot too, VShojo, just made some pretty big announcements for their JP branch recently, and it was very, very interesting to check that out and then watch a lot of community reactions from people. I think it's going to be a lot of really good content. I'll be keeping an eye on what they do. need a rapid fire weapon. Or maybe I can go for Bible. Bible or... Ooh, duplicator. Any Bible and pentagram? Let's try and put some distance between us and those other items. Don't pick them up by accident before I'm ready. Ring. And one of my favorite VTuber related, he's not really a VTuber himself, although he had a model done at some point, is this dude named Coefficient. He's from the States. In fact, I think he lives on this coast. Alright, pentagram. And he was a fighting game guy who did like real life streaming stuff, so he didn't have an avatar, and he got pulled down the VTuber hole a couple years ago thanks to HoloLive. I think Rushia was the first one he watched, and then he became kind of like the de facto ambassador to the VTuber scene, and he's done collabs with different VTubers and does a lot of reaction content and other things talking about him. And he seems like a really cool, chill dude, and occasionally he does stuff with fighting games as well. So I really like watching Coefficient. Sarlad says, I watch some VShojo members like Iron Mouse and Zen because they have smaller videos, with some HoloLive members just have the full stream. That makes sense. I don't watch all of the VShojo talent consistently, but probably my favorite, it's tough to say because they're all kind of different in personality. I really like Iron Mouse. I think she's very, very entertaining, and her story is really cool. I also like Nanners because Nanners is a chaotic gremlin. And I really like Zentreya too because she's very unique in her style of content. I've said it before a long time ago when I was talking about different VTubers I like. Zentreya has mastered the art of physical comedy for a person who doesn't directly talk. She's very funny, and her chat are a bunch of trolls, and it's very entertaining to watch. Fruit doesn't stream as much, but she's pretty interesting too, and really talented artist. Vebe is one of the newer ones. She's pretty interesting too. Same with Silverveil, and Hime Hajime doesn't stream a lot because she has a lot of schedule conflicts. Oh, come on. But Sarlat says the collabs with Sea-Dog and Iron Mouse are great on both sides. Absolutely. Have you watched their panel from Anime Expo with the two of them on stage? I've only seen bits and pieces. I need to go watch the whole thing, but it was very much a kind of hilarious sibling energy that you see in their videos on stage in front of a crowd. It was great. Oh, and Project Melody. She's another one she's really amusing to watch from VShojo. But they announced I think it was at Anime Expo, since that's where the news was coming from. They announced the people that they're bringing on for their Japanese division of VShojo. Did you see that? That's what I was talking about earlier. And it's really big news. Alright, let's keep an eye on our upgrades here. We'll go ring. Yeah, I did see the clip of Sea-Dog getting D's nuts live. What a legend for that dude asking the question. But it's only fair. He's gotten the boys over on Trash Taste with the D's nuts jokes many times. So it's only fair. As a person who's gotten D's nuts jokes on my streams as well. You know, is what it is. Starlet says, yeah, I saw the news. Yeah, the announcement of Keisan on air joining VShojo Japan is massive. That's such a big industry power move for the VTuber scene, for them to scoop her up, especially after all of her previous occupation stuff. And then the other talent that we don't know much about now for VShojo Japan, her name is Amemiya Nazuna? I know it's Nazuna is her first name. But there's a lot of speculation based on the very short vocal clip about who she is. And people who know the VTuber scene from the Japan side immediately picked up. So I'm pretty sure we all know who's was hired on as the talent behind that character, which is also equally massive. To have both those two under a different competing company, knowing where they came from, is huge for a company starting up in Japan. I don't think it's enough to really topple Hololive by itself, but it's the start of a pretty big shift in momentum. And it'll be really interesting to see. Silent says, love Keisan. Keisan's hilarious. That lady is something else. I would consider her one of the forefront runners of establishing like the whole idea of professional VTubers. Starlight says, I'm glad some members of VShojo and Hololive are friends and have collabs. Yeah, it is interesting that there's been a lot of crossover, because Hololive as a corporation is very restrictive on their talent. That's one thing that I'm not a big fan of from their management side. It has nothing to do with the talent themselves, but they're definitely a lot more tighter control over what their talent can say, do, and the projects they can work on. I'm pretty sure that's why some talent has left, and their handling of other situations of talent that's not necessarily leaving on their own accord, but that's management. You know, the actual Hololive talent themselves are great. It's just an interesting perspective. Alright, we're at 8:48. I think I'm going to go for a banishment on Toronto's box instead of taking it up to 9. I don't think this character is strong enough to last through 100% curse. Starlad says, higher management and contacts just suck. Contacts or contracts? Or maybe both, when you think about it. The problem is for idol agency management, it's a big corporation. You know, they're running a big corporation type operation, because it's not just like a small independent deal. And I get that for Cover Corp that owns Hololive. Like, I get it. They're a big company. They have to run things that way. But I kind of like the more hands-off style of an American company like VShojo, just because their talent doesn't seem to be under as many restrictions. But there's pros and cons. I think it's interesting that the VTuber landscape is not dominated by just one company. You know, the big ones from Japan are obviously Hololive and Niji Sanji, but worldwide it's not just them. And you kind of see the whole scene evolving, especially with, you know, VShojo expanding to Japan and whatnot. I will say that being an independent VTuber and keeping an eye on the scene, I don't really do too closely, because honestly I'm not that concerned with trying to like find a big agency or whatnot. There are a lot of smaller groups that are trying to start up, and it seems like they're fighting a very uphill battle from a management side. I think I talked a little bit about it last year, but I did apply to join the V-Stars group, and I didn't make it to interviews or anything like that, but that whole thing ended up imploding spectacularly, and publicly on the internet, mind you. And it was crazy because a lot of their talent that was essentially being hired for that group revealed a lot of really just disappointing and concerning stuff that was going on behind the scenes of this group that was starting to try to become like the next agency, right? The next VShojo. But that whole experience and seeing that really kind of just turned me off the idea of larger companies like Sour Lad is saying with contracts and whatnot. That's not why I'm doing this. But if people out there are trying to sign with big groups, just perfectly fine. I personally like having control over my content and not being locked into, you know, set amounts of streams or set types of content. Zalad says, I guess VTubing is having the same boom how playing games and YouTubing started becoming sustainable. Oh, absolutely. I think that's a pretty good comparison. Like the whole explosion of the Let's Play scene of the earlier mid-2010s. You had groups like, where are we at, 11 minutes? Just checking my upgrade list. Okay, we can start grabbing chests. Obviously, big groups like Game Grumps for Let's Plays. My favorite group was Super Best Friends Play, and other groups starting up and kind of pushing the forefront of Let's Plays. Then streaming took off. YouTubing had always been a thing in the background. Yeah, Sour Lad says it's entertainment but evolving. Yeah, VTubing scene is really an extension of that. It's an ever-evolving landscape of content creation and, you know, people making stuff on the internet. I decided to become a VTuber because I wanted to make stuff on the internet. And I've been doing it for a long time. And I wanted to actually be in an environment where I could interact with people, both from a community perspective and a peer perspective, instead of just making content in a vacuum, essentially just for me and how I wanted. I wanted to be able to interact with people. You know, I'd never done that before, and the whole idea of growing a community and meeting other people online sounded really cool. And that's what ended up happening. I got really lucky. Sour Lad's heard me talk about this before, but I got really lucky in that I met Wazzy and got introduced to her and her community. It would have been fine if that hadn't happened because, again, I'm not doing this to be rich or to make lots of money or exposure, but being able to help grow a community and meet other people was primarily the result of meeting her. And I'm really appreciative of that because not everyone gets lucky like that. It is very much up to chance and just, you know, how things happen is, as Critical has said repeatedly, you just get lucky. Sarlad says, digital personas are able to have more expressions and camera people are voice only. They can. Let's see, what do we want? I gotta think about this. We can get beginning. I think it really depends on the style of content creator, because regardless of if you're an in-person streamer, a ping tuber, or anything, it really is driven by what kind of personality you want. You know, you could be really chill and go for like a more laid-back type of personality. You can go for a more kind of... Oh, that's my banish down here. A more higher energy or more kind of exaggerated personality, which is kind of what Wazzy does. Or you could be kind of in the middle. It really just depends, and there's no right or wrong way. I absolutely will not say one way is better than the other. I tend to err on the more chill and laid back side because I'm not good at faking enthusiasm. You folks probably can't tell, but if I was trying to do like the fake, you know, YouTuber, like, comment, and subscribe, you guys would be able to tell. It'd be really obviously phony and disingenuous, and I'm not going to do that. I also couldn't keep it up. I'd be able to do it for maybe half an hour, and then I would run out of energy and probably face plant directly onto my desk on stream. Starlight says, never be afraid to reach out to others. It's tough, man. Like, again, I got lucky in that someone reached out to me. Especially if you're following larger creators, just taking that step to try and get in touch with them and just see if they want to talk or even collaborate, that's hard. That's really hard. Not everyone can do that. But it all comes down to just timing and networking. And you do your best. I think what discourages a lot of people that are trying to get into VTubing specifically, as opposed to the other streaming and content creation types, is they see numbers, right? They see Hololive or Nichisanji or VShojo, and they see numbers of people tuning in, and they say, I really want that. I want to be, the next Gargura or Iron Mouse. And that is very difficult to do. Red Dragon is still here. I didn't even realize you're still here, Red Dragon. Get sleep. But thank you for tuning in and hanging out with us. Hope you have a restful night, and I will catch you next time. But anyway, what I was saying is, because VTubing is so big now, I don't think it's really the bubbles burst yet, but a lot of people are getting into it, right? And I think part of it is just tempering your expectations and being realistic when you're trying to get into it. I didn't, like I said, want the fame and numbers and everything. That's not why I did it. But people who do want to achieve that and don't can get discouraged really easily because it's not the norm. You're not going to be these big names unless you're working with a large agency, and that in itself is difficult. Because say what you want about large companies, Hololive and Nijisanji and all the other ones, they screen their talent very carefully. They're not hiring just random people. Their interview process and everything those people have to do has to prove they're talented to get the backing of a company. And it's competitive. It's just like a job interview out there. You have to compare your resume to everybody else that's competing for that one spot. And some are going to be better than others. Oh, we got our levels. All right. So, Vespers area. Now we get to see what kind of upgrades we can get. Heaven Sword amount. Charlotte says, it's a goal, but you should only do things that bring enjoyment and passion. I would say that is very true if you're talking about something that is not your 9 to 5. Because, like for me, this is not my 9 to 5. It would be interesting if it was, but it'd also be very stressful. Having talked to Awazi a lot offline about her job as a content creator, I know it's something that stresses her out a little bit because, again, she's doing it for her job. Granted, she's not solely doing that for her job because, again, Matt works too. But the idea that you have to essentially be an entertainer and use that to generate a living is tough. It's not easy. I got your hydrate, Saralad. Thanks. And again, I'm not here to soapbox. It may sound like I preach to you folks a lot, but the reality is you just have to be kind of realistic with whatever you do. And Saralad says, finding a job that you enjoy is hard. Oh, yeah. That is 100% true. Sometimes you can be lucky enough to land in an industry or a type of occupation that's going to pay your bills and it's something you love doing. I think the most realistic thing is to kind of land somewhere in the middle. You want to do a job that you care about. But if it's not the most creatively fulfilling job because maybe you're an artist or something like that, but you can find enough in it to be motivated to do the job, then use that job to fund everything you do care about. And that's the push and pull, right? If you're lucky enough to have a decent job that funds your passions, great. Not everyone has that. But it's kind of the goal Charlotte says the business side of entertainment is probably hell. Oh yeah, yeah. That's why being like an actor or someone that's part of a big corporation for entertainment purposes does not appeal to me in the slightest. As a person who works with a lot of contracts in my, Earth job, I know what that involves. And the idea that being an entertainer would be driven by that level of control and structure does not appeal to me at all. But it does to some, and that's okay. You just have to remember, at the end of the day, those companies are businesses, and they've got to run themselves in a way that they're not going to go out of business, especially if they have investors and all that stuff. All right, we are, halfway through the run. We're going to have some really high numbers on these items. Speed. Starlight says, the treatment of voice actors and translators. Oh yeah, there's a whole nother can of worms. Translator, I thought about becoming a translator because I have a language background from my time in school. But translation, interpretation, that's a tough industry. There was a time when I thought it'd be really cool to be like an anime localizer and translator, but it is a very difficult field. I also thought about teaching, but I couldn't get in any programs, so that was out the window. Like going and teaching in English in Japan, I didn't want to do that, but I didn't have the grades for it. Alright, where are we at? 5, 12, 5, 21, 2, 2, okay. I wonder if there is a limit break upgrade for the pentagram. So far, we haven't seen something that does not have a limit upgrade, I think. Let's see if it comes up in the rotation. 'Cause I want to know what that looks like. Right now we've got our Holy Vespers, which is our shield, at super high speed. And the more we upgrade it, I think it's going to give us damage and maybe the number of runes that are orbiting. Starlight says, even how businesses abuse their employees in both health and the workload is disgusting. Things we don't know or aren't public. Oh yeah, yeah. That's one thing that demotivated me to want to work in Japan, is looking at the work balance culture there. There it is. Gorgeous moon, +1, I'm out. All right. The work culture in Japan is abhorrent. It's crazy. I knew people that were from there, and they said it's so ingrained in societal norms that I don't know how you fix it, but it's brutal. I wouldn't want to work in a professional environment there, not in the least. As a teacher, it wouldn't have been in a corporation. I heard enough stories from folks that were over there that had worked in the professional business culture. And I got a little taste of some of the social dynamics, not the work dynamics, when I had to learn Keigo in Japanese. And I actually got pretty good at it, but good lord was it difficult. And that's the norm, using the formal speech in Keigo in the professional work environment there. It's like a whole nother language. And I was like, I'm good. Not doing that. Ooh, crit chance up. Starlight says, I get the feeling that isekai anime that start people dying while working in a company says something about working IRL. Yeah. I don't think it's a really thinly veiled metaphor. It is. I think it's probably a direct statement of a lot of the work culture stuff, which is crazy, but I believe it. Sarlat says, in the headline of some politician wanted 40 to 60 hours a week, you probably get a lot of productivity. You'd also have a lot of people keeling over at their desk. And it's not just Japanese companies, My younger brother works in a different industry than I do. and he works sometimes 60 to 80 hour weeks, especially during the end of the fiscal quarters, and that's the norm in his industry. He doesn't get paid for that time. There's no overtime. He's a salaried employee, but sometimes he's working 12-hour days. It's crazy. I told him that job's gonna kill you if you stay there too long. I just realized, looking at my level, I'm at like 170. This character, I think, is going to be very, very strong. My growth is at 391%. I'm getting levels right and left like crazy. Sarlet says, points to Blizzard, points to Amazon. Yeah. That, and there's a whole bunch of ethical and other stuff with those companies. It's not good. But you find that in other industries too. Like, my brother doesn't work in either of those two industries, and it's the norm for his type of work to just have crazy hours because they're client facing, and a lot of the stuff they do is really critical, and you can't just have people say, "Oh, I'm on vacation, I can't do the thing." Not in that field. I probably can't talk too much about it for risk of just doxing what he does, but it's pretty crazy. And the whole pandemic situation didn't make a lot of that any easier. In fact, a lot of that was severely impacted in a lot of ways from the pandemic, which is a whole other thing, right? Alright, keep pushing for sword. This new limit break mechanic is fascinating. This changes the viability of a lot of builds, depending on the characters, by a pretty considerable amount. I may have to build gains here, because that infinitely scaling experience boost means you could do some really nutty stuff. Because this is max curse. Curse 130%. I don't have Torona's box on it. I didn't get the additional 100%. But we are pretty safe. Charlotte says, dangers of UPS. UPS is the one without doors on their trucks? Yes, I believe so. That always seemed like a liability. Okay, I don't think I want to go too much higher on area, or I'm going to be off the screen with that. Alright, so we're at 1930. This is going to be the last run. I need to go secure dinner after this. But we're probably going to set a record for experience level. We've got super high limit broken stats on our weapons. Critical chance. Very interesting. Makes me want to build the tree even more now. It's the area on the shroud. The shroud's not even proccing because nothing can get close to me. See, Heaven's Sword area. Keep upgrading that. We can have massive screen clearing sword projectiles. Same thing with the lightning. Look at that. Even the boss gets melted before it can even get close. I didn't need to build for Pentagram. Pentagram is doing nothing because it's on such a slow cooldown. The damage and speed of the Vespers, which is the runic circle around me, the shield, it's so high and fast that nothing can even get through. We're now at growth 455%. Wow. That's bananas. If I had a gold build with this character, I'll bet I can make a lot of money on the Bone Zone. I will try that out. Between now and the next time I stream this, I'm going to try and build this character. And then just see. We're at 201. What'd I say the record was? Like 202? Yeah, this is going to be a new record for experience. I still got 10 minutes to go. Yeah, I guess the pentagram is good for just vacuuming up everything every 20 or so seconds. I'm gonna have to look up on the wiki to see if there's any sort of stat caps, because I honestly can't tell if those Vesper Rune things are going any faster. Well, I can essentially take my hands off the keyboard now. I do want that last Arcana. Speed. Right. There we go. Duration. There we go. Light. Okay, we could go slash. Doubles critical damage, so that's good for the sword. Yeah, I'm gonna go for that. It's the only weapon I've got that's gonna be affected by that, but it's firing pretty quickly. That should just melt everything that gets hit. So that's it. It's scary how a person's life can be destroyed with a lie on the internet. Oh yeah, absolutely. Especially when you talk about cancel culture. I'm not going to soapbox too much on this, but it doesn't need to be true. But if it gets enough attention publicly, a lot of times you can completely obliterate someone's career, and it sucks when that happens. That's why the best thing you can do is verify and trust your facts before you go out reporting them. Did you see that one thing? I saw it on Twitter, but did you see that thing about Hideo Kojima, Sour Lad? From last week? I read that and it just blew my freaking mind, man. If not, I can explain. I'm just sitting here watching this thing go off. Pink? Does pink mean critical hits? I don't know. But they are going off. Charlotte says they blame the guy for the death of the Prime Minister. Yeah, so what happened was a French politician saw a meme post. I don't think it was from 4chan. It might have been. But it was a post with like Hideo Kojima in like a Soviet cap and a couple other, like one with him wearing a Joker t-shirt, and it was misconstrued and as him being the one who killed the former Prime Minister Abe, And rather than fact check it, the politician just tweeted that out, and it blew up. And you imagine being Kojima, waking up on a regular day, seeing yourself trending on Twitter for the murder of a public official. That's nuts. That's absolutely crazy. And obviously it wasn't him. So it says, I thought it was a 40-year-old officer with a self-made gun. Yeah, the actual person who committed the crime was a former military defense guy who made his own improvised weapon and was specifically targeting Abe for reasons of unrest and whatnot. But they got the guy in custody. He was tackled immediately after he fired his shots. And just 5 seconds of fact-checking, instead of tweeting out like a joke post as fact, would have prevented the whole thing. And it was all over Twitter. Like, that politician, that French politician, got absolutely crucified because, that's the type of thing that ends careers. If Kojima wasn't such a public official himself and people didn't know where all that stuff was from, then he easily could have had his career ruined. And it's crazy that we're in an environment where that's easy to happen to people. Like, if it was just Joe Schmo getting tweeted out about committing a crime like that, even if it wasn't true, enough people would see it, and then Joe Schmo's career is over. And it's nuts. You just have to be careful. And it's one thing if a rando just tweets out something, but when it's someone very public or like a news source, and they don't fact check and they tweet out something that's incorrect, that's when it gets bad. Sarlad said, cancel culture is just the modern version of the Salem witch trials. Yeah, it's a lot more efficient too. You don't have to round up a mob and literally burn someone at the stake. You can do that all over social media and have as catastrophic an impact. That's why I don't interact with most people on social media. I just follow some friends of mine and people I care about and post updates whenever I'm doing stuff, and that's it. I try and avoid doom scrolling because it's never good news and it'll ruin your day. Boy, look at our numbers. We're up to 52 on the sword, 49 on Vespers. We're pretty much on autopilot. Now I want to take this character and these builds and go into the bone zone, which is much harder than the library. And then just see if I can pull off like a massive build and make a lot of gold. I will try that offline because I need to eat. I'm very hungry. Alright, Shroud area 5%. That's not as important. Again, nothing's getting close. I'm trying to decide what to get for dinner. It's going to depend on when I'm done here since stuff closes relatively soon. I was kind of thinking Mexican, but if I don't order stuff by like 7:30, they're going to be shut down. Sushi doesn't sound bad since it's hot, but my favorite place stopped delivering here because I'm apparently too far away. First world problems. Silent says, you know the people I hate the most? The ones that use the death of someone for profit? Ah, yes. I'm sure you've been seeing a lot of discussion and chatter around the recent passing of popular creator Technoblade. I never followed his work, but I know he was very popular and very well respected and loved by all the communities. I found out about the whole exploitation of that guy's passing through Critical from Charlie, since he had a couple videos talking about how people were just creating tons of videos using, the death of this creator and getting clicks and subscribers, and it's absolutely repulsive and really irredeemable in my mind. So I was them smiling how it's Owen finally got banned off YouTube for his clickbait in his recent video about techno. Yeah, I saw I saw Charlie's coverage of that whole situation is why I know about it. But he's not the only one. There are other people who are doing that and, you know, claiming that they're going to donate a portion of their proceeds to charity, but, you know, unless they're donating everything they make off of all those videos, they're still skimming and they're still benefiting from the death of someone, and that's garbage. Don't do that. You have to be a pretty immoral person to want to do that, I think. But they're out there. There are some people out there who do not care about their scruples. They'll do it to make money, and they don't really care, and it's bad. I have no respect for people like that. So let's say the NFT guys and YouTube spam bots. Oh yeah, man, that's a whole nother can of worms about, you know, the flaws in the platform. The best thing you can do is try and ignore it, because it's not going to go away unless YouTube does something about it, and apparently they would rather not. Sorry, lads. I think there's still YouTube comments with the address of Scott Coffin when he was under fire. That's the Five Nights at Freddy's guy. Yeah, that guy got canceled pretty hard. Oh, alright, boss time, gotta be careful. And that boss is fast. When it comes to stuff like that, I'm of the opinion you can disagree with someone's ideology or politics or whatever, but it never justifies doxing and, you know, doing things that are going to affect their personal and family life. Unless it's criminal, at which point the authorities should be handling it. Like, the internet is not a vigilante system, you know. Sorry, let's have the FNAF guy, yeah. I remember reading about that. Again, ideology, philosophy, religion, politics, all that stuff. You don't have to agree, but it's not good to try and publicly put stuff about people online, because it'll have far worse ramifications than just cancellation. You know, doxing people is what gets people swatted, and swatting can kill people. We know that. We've heard stories about people who do that, and people who are responsible are in jail. Justifiably so. So that's it. Just like people won't buy Blizzard games or watch their stuff. Yeah, if you disagree with like an entity, like a corporation, because of their practices or scandals or whatever, then don't support them. That's why I don't support Blizzard. I really wanted to play that Diablo 2 remake because I hate getting things done. But I'm not going to give them money because I don't like what they stand for. And it sucks for the companies that work for them to make things that are not part of that whole, you know, the scandal, as it were. But vote with your wallet. That's the whole, one of the corner pillars of capitalism, I suppose. Where are we at? I'm just getting levels constantly. 285. Okay, that's a new record. That's crazy. Growth is at 623%. My God. This little skeleton worm character is pretty nuts. No upgrades too. I only have a few eggs that I got this run. Definitely gonna have to do some experimenting in the zone. We got 4 minutes left in the run. So I said I'm back. My Wi-Fi died. I glanced over just a sec before the level up prompt showed up. And I thought you said your wife died. I misread your chat. But yes, you didn't miss much in the little bit while your Wi-Fi died. I was just talking about, you know, choosing to support entities and whatnot. Let's see. Area. Might. Meanwhile, there's just a bazillion swords flying across the screen at supersonic speeds. It's funny, stuff can't even get close, so the only way for me to get all the experience that's dying outside of my shield is to either walk over there or wait until the pentagram goes off and just vacuums it all up for me. Starlad said, NFTs and crypto farms are bad for the environment. Yep. They're also the reason why I can't get a new graphics card, so I'm not happy with those people. A friend of mine was saying, with a lot of the crypto market sort of imploding, you're going to probably start seeing people dumping their, you know, crypto farming rig parts, and you might see aftermarket used secondhand graphics cards out there for a lot cheaper. And my friend was saying, just be aware that it's probably coming from a lot of those operations, so you're probably getting a very well-worn higher end graphics card that was used in like a crypto farming setup. So I probably won't want to buy anything secondhand for that reason. I do want to replace my 970 at some point. It's just gonna evaporate one day. It is a workhorse though. It runs stuff like this. It runs Monster Hunter really well. And I've had that graphics card for a long time. I think I've upgraded my build twice around that card, and it's the same. So I got my money's worth on that 970, but it is old. But as long as it's working, I'm good. If I buy anything higher now, it's going to cost me probably $1,000. So I'm in no rush. And part of the reason why this run is taking so long is every time the pentagram goes off and it vacuums up the experience, I get like 10 levels. So I'm sitting here clicking the levels longer than I am actually waiting for the run to play out. .321, that is a crazy record. Starlad asks, you heard the news of Twitter suing Elon? I had not heard that. That happened today. That's probably why I haven't heard about it. I've been largely off Twitter today. I was busy at work. Let's go. I'm not surprised, though. Given that whole acquisition thing's probably a dumpster fire in itself, and I don't feel sorry for Elon. And we have a raid. Banani raiding with a party of 6 people. What is happening, raiders? Welcome to the stream. We are in the last run of Vampire Survivors, in which our little skeleton wormy boy here is getting a bazillion levels, and as soon as I finish upgrading all this stuff, you can actually see what's going on. Hey, Shinobi's here. Shinobi says, any Morbius survivors? Oh yeah, we Morbin. We Morbin it up in here. Welcome. Okay, I don't want area. There it goes. So we are at the end of this run. At 30 minutes is when it will be done. But we have built a mix of defense with this shield of runes you see flying around my character, and offense, which are all these swords that have been upgraded to a stupid high level. And as a result, it's pretty much on autopilot. So we're talking about the state of, internet instead. So, again, welcome. Shinobi said, I can't see anything. That's how I know this is a good vamp run. Yeah, the last one I did was on the challenge area. It was a gold run, and everything was just a mass of sprites. I think it probably tanked the bitrate down by about 40%. This one, because I'm killing stuff before it even gets on close to my character, it's definitely not as bad. But, yeah, it's pretty bananas. Starlet said, on the topic of Twitter suing Elon, something about Twitter not sharing bot info with Elon and Elon just backing out of the deal. I saw the meme Elon posted about it. Yeah, I remember hearing about that. The whole idea of the bot info apparently tanked the deal, but depending on what he had signed for the acquisition, he might not have been able to just back out, which is probably why they're suing him. But that's interesting. I guess we'll see how that shakes out. Everyone was really kind of doomsaying everything when it looked like he was going to buy Twitter, but like a lot of people have said, it's already a hell platform on Twitter. I don't know how much worse you can make it. Alright, about a minute and a half. Minute and a half, level 360. That is insane. Beat my record by like, it's going to probably be about 200 over at this rate. I don't even think it matters what I pick here. I wish they had a stat summary page at the end that shows all these limit broken upgrades here. Maybe it will. I don't think I've seen it yet. I guess we'll have to see. Sarlad says, I wonder if Elon will do something similar like the Tumblr purge of 2018 if you were to buy Twitter. You mean as far as banning a specific type of content? I don't know. It's possible. I think dealing with the bots would definitely be a high priority, because like Twitter bots they're all over the place. But I don't know. So we'll see what happens with that whole suit. I don't feel sorry for the guy. I think Elon Musk is kind of crazy. All right, let's get random upgrades. Crit chance, area, amount. I guess this particular build probably benefits from Pentagram, because I'd be walking around a lot if I didn't have that there to just vacuum up all of the experience. Oh, what if we can get to 400? Be close. Speed. Area. Damage. Area. Damage. Speed. Damage. Oh, whoops, I don't want that one. Duration. Oh, yeah, we hit 401. Sarlad asks, you know anything about the meta of the game? Thoughts? This game? About the meta for Vampire Survivors? This is my first time really playing the current build after the recent update. And the meta is absolutely different than the last time I played it because of this limit breaking system we see here. Like, having this type of build with all these weapons and power-ups like this, I've never seen it before. I have a level 400 character that has no upgrades. So the meta is completely out the window from what I knew before. I'm going to have to do a lot of research and test a lot of stuff with the builds. Just when I thought I knew the game and was pretty much just in cruise control, they do this, and now everything I knew is going to be starting over from the beginning, which is kind of fun. I could play this game for probably 500 hours. The amount of customization and open-endedness to how you play it is the exact type of game like Monster Hunter that I can play endlessly. Best $3 I ever spent, folks. Alright, so now we got the run kill. Reaper's here. I just have to... I'm gonna do this. Charlotte says, level 400 wasn't your highest 202. Yep. That's why I'm saying that the limit breaking system and this character that has XP boost scaling infinitely is whole new game. I just unlocked this character today, and I've set a new record as far as experience. Real key is if I take this character and build properly, can I beat my record of gold? And that's what I will try and find out when I'm testing this. But now we got the end of the run, finally. Sarlet said there's probably a tryhard going for level 1000. If we were playing this on the Bone Zone map I was on before that has the higher waves of enemies, assuming I didn't just die outright, if I managed to get this setup going, I probably would be like 600 in level. Because there's more enemies in that zone. Okay. So let's see. I definitely want to capture this one. So our total gold earned, 31k. It's pretty much meh. Level reached, 411. That's a new record. Enemies defeated, 113,000. It's pretty good. Our overall DPS, broken out here amongst our different weapons, is much lower. Our DPS on the Infinite Corridor, because we're not dealing with probably as many enemies as the other run we did, that's probably why it's lower. But still, and here's our final upgrades here. Highest one was the Heaven's Sword at 141. That's pretty nuts. And we got everything else was kind of spread, and then Vespers at 100. Cape 11, 12, 7. Yeah. I don't know. Well, let me save this verse before I close out of this. I am going to have to mess around with this some more in the future. Next time I stream this, I'll sort of do like a little presentation for chat, and I'll let you know what I've learned. You folks want to see what I managed to do with this new system, I can share that next time, because I save all these that are noteworthy. Now, let's see. If we go back, and mind you, I still don't have every character unlocked. There's a couple secret ones that I don't have yet. But the main cast list is here. Gaines Boros. Very interesting special character. These ones down here are all secret characters. The ones at Ambrojo and above are all like the quote-unquote standard unlocks. Sarlet asks, would you like the game to have a way to save or hold levels so you don't just get one frame level ups? I think it would be nice if you could, if you have multiple level ups at once, just allocate the points on the screen and then choose to re-roll. But because it's a random pool of upgrades, that's probably why they don't do that. But with this character, that would be a neat feature to have. Yeah, very interesting. 27, 16. Yeah, if we drop a bunch of eggs for permanent stat upgrades here, we could probably make this the strongest character. That level boost, it's too nuts. Crazy. Still got those achievements to go. I will do those later. Alright. Well, I did a lot of talking today, but hopefully it was interesting watching me work through this latest build of Vampire Survivors. I learned a lot. There's so much more I need to tinker around with this game. But we'll definitely be streaming it more in the future, probably after the next update. I'll have to see. There's some things I want to get back to for the other stuff we've been playing. Namely, more Holocure. We need to go back and play through more Guardian Legend on NES. Tomorrow we will be getting together to do a session of Sunbreak, more Monster Hunter. And then I'll be out of town later in the week, so we won't pick up for streaming until next week, and I have no idea what I'm going to do. But before we jump off, let me see who is online. I know we just had a bunch of people from Banani's stream raid, which, again, shout out to Banani. Let's see if we can pay it forward. Let's see. Moo is streaming. Palm is streaming ASMR, huh? We haven't raided the Doggo Homie in a while. So let's do that. Before we go, let me pause everything here. Alright. We'll go to outro. And we're good to go. So thanks again for hanging out, folks. We will be back tomorrow with Monster Hunter. So until then, I will catch you folks later. And a last minute stretch from Saralad. Oh, I intend to as soon as we get done. I'm going to go walk around. But thanks for hanging out, folks. And I will catch you guys in the next stream. So let's go raid the Doggo Homie.